which is watch the thought, feel the effect of the thought, watch the process of thinking, and the effect on the mind. Sit on whatever height you need so that the knee is below the top of the thigh or at the level of the top of the thigh, but not above. Move the buttock flesh back and out. So you create more and more sense of sitting on the inner frontal corners of your sit bones. When the body is very tight, hips are very tight, you tend to lose the lumbar curve here. So by untucking the pelvis, create that lumbar curve. Untucking the pelvis means two things. The sit bones are taken back behind you, hip bones are dropped forward, and the second thing is the sit bones are widened away from each other circularly, keeping the heels pressing to each other. To bend forward to touch the block, not with your nose but with your forehead, keeping the block far enough away from you. Begin that forward bending action by rotating the top femurs in. If the nose touches the block, move the blocks further away. And as you come back, do a slight back bend, particularly back bend of the upper chest. Only when you decrease the height of the block so much that as you bend forward, your floating ribs touch the feet. Only after that, begin to release the head down further, arching the back. Move this buttock flesh back and out to the side. So you are seated as much as possible to the inner frontal corners of your sit bones. If your rotators around the head of the femur are tight or your hamstrings are tight, you are not going to be able to sit on the front of the sit bone, in which case the lumbar will be out of proper concavity, and in that case you should sit little higher up on a firm support, not on a soft blanket. Sit higher up on a firm support like a block to create that proper untucking of the pelvis. Since we are talking of stretching the leg more than arching the back, let's go to a little more challenging position. See if we can do this. I want to stretch my left leg first. So here is what I do with the left leg. Go to the wall, put the leg in that position, bring the right foot forward. Okay. As I begin to sink lower down, I don't want the knee to go beyond the ankle. So I keep the foot a little further away to start with. If my arms are not long enough, I'll take 2 blocks. My attempt here is to stretch the top of the thigh first. But then whatever degree to which I'm able to go, I want to take that sensation of stretching the top of the thigh to, can I change that to a sensation where I stretch the back of the thigh bone more? And make sure you are on the top of the kneecap rather than the middle or bottom of the kneecap. Then begin to lift the chest up. Even though the top femurs move away from each other, don't let the knees move away from the center line. And in the beginning, when you feel the stretch, you are going to feel the stretch on the top of the quadricep. And the buttocks are reasonably loose. Tighten the gluteus into each other. We did this last time, I think, but with a lunging position with your leg straight. Get the effect on the groin much more. Stretch the groin, dropping the pelvis both towards the floor and away from the wall. Maximize a sense of stretch in the groin. And whatever stretch you are feeling on the top of the leg, on the top of the quadricep, attempt to pull that stretch into the bone and then even beyond that into the back of your leg. Use the breath so you don't tighten eyes, ears, tongue, throat. And stretch the back of the leg much more.
In the back leg, the knee closer to the wall, when you say extend or stretch the bone from the back, how much engagement on the hamstring and buttocks is on that back leg?
That's good. So instead of stretching and feeling the stretch only on the front and the quadriceps, at least you are feeling in the hamstring. That's a progress. Slowly that will come to the bone rather than to the surface of the hamstring.
Okay.
Well, my foot is at the wall.
Yeah.
But I have the blocks there, and then I put it here, and I found a little bit more. Is that worse or better? Is it always better to go this way?
Seeing what you said here, what did you change?
She's lifting her whole body up there.
The blocks. See, here I am forward.
Yeah, I see. Yeah. No, that's correct. That's the way you want to go. Ultimately,
Okay.
of your back of the head going to your foot in a back bend. Okay, so that's correct. You can also lift that knee on a block.
The back leg,
The back.
the back knee.
Yeah, back.
Okay.
And consider there are two different ways of working. One is where I use a little bit of force to go down, and another approach, completely different approach, is what is it I'm unknowingly holding that I can let go of, and pull the stretch from the quadriceps first to the groin, then to the back of the leg. And you have to get up and hold the chair first. Now, it's the same similar kind of stretch, little stronger, where you try to make this thigh, the left thigh, as flat onto the chair as you possibly can. That will initially arch your back much more. Tuck the pelvis to remove that arch. If you can't hold the chair at the back like she's doing, you can have a second chair in the front. Okay, everybody do it. Left leg stretching first. Again, see that the right knee in the front doesn't go flopping to the right side.
Yes, sorry. Is Andrea's left leg through that slot and then touching the wall, or is her foot touching the backrest of the chair?
The wall, the foot is touching the wall, and then it is caught between the chair and the wall.
Got it. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
How do I enter in the pose?
Show it on this side here. And then move your chair as far back as you can. Is that better? Can you see it better?
Yes.
So here, see, the foot, this foot should not fall outside the chair. You should keep it into the chair more. You can even hold the foot instead of holding the chair. You tell the mind to draw boundary around the congestion of the head of the femur. Breathe into that boundary. After doing that kind of intense work, okay, the simplest pose to do is wall hang like we did earlier. A better pose to do would be to do Utkatasana with the wall. In Utkatasana though, my sense should be, ideally I want to sit down as much as I can, making my thigh parallel to the floor, but my tendency is to bring weight onto the knee. Take that weight away from the knee, from the top of the femur here, learn to release down. Feeling better always in asana practice has to be seen by saying, does it make my breath easier? Does it make my breath better? If all the teachers were to die and the student remembers that the whole science of asana practice was hinging on watching the breath, then the whole science can come up again. The breath is considered that important. Whether you can watch the breath that accurately or not is a different question. But when in doubt, look at the breath. So if there is anybody to help you with the pose, what that person does is they sit near your feet and with their hands supporting your ankles with their knees, with their hands, they move the femurs away from the head towards themselves. Do not use your hands in this pose to push the knees down. That will jam the sacrum. Not a good idea to do in this pose. But it is very, very nice to pull the knees away from the head more and more to lengthen the femur. Soften the groin. Long femurs.